Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and welcome to my show. I'm here to talk to you about Chart TA, but not the chart you might be thinking. We'll be doing Crypto Chart TA, but first we have to talk about the big dollar index yet again, okay? This is something always keeping track of. What we need to do is we need to zoom out and take a look at the macro picture for today's show. And what I want you to focus on is this line right here. This is the potential resistance point for the dollar index that goes all the way back 20 years to the January of '02, and this is basically starting during September of 2000 or so. This area back here is the .com bubble, okay? So what we've seen in the past couple of months is a rapidly rising dollar, and the reason for that has been the Federal Reserve increasing interest rates every chance it gets. Last time we did a 75 basis point increase, all right, and we've made a high on the dollar index now at about $113 or so. So what I expect is that the Fed is going to continue to increase rates probably for the rest of the year, okay? And so you might ask yourself, well, what does that mean for the dollar index? Well, we have a parallel here, again, from the .com bubble. And what we can see is that based on it being at a similar level at the .com bubble, we have about, I would say, 3 to 4 months or so until the dollar hits this level here at about 120, this resistance level of $120. And this is incredibly important to pay attention to, because if the dollar index comes up to this level and gets rejected by this 120 level resistance, that would be very bullish for Bitcoin, all right? The way I see it, I think the most likely outcome of what we're going to see by the end of the year is the Fed raising interest rates, the dollar index coming up here to this point, about 120 or so, bouncing off of this, being rejected handily, and coming back down again. And when it gets rejected, we're going to see bullish price action for Bitcoin. Again, I'm thinking within the next 3 to 4 months, we're going to wind up seeing this price action, and it could admittedly take maybe just a little bit longer. This is entirely depending on what the Fed decides to do, but this is my best guess of what's going to happen. And the alternate I guess, scenario here is that instead of getting rejected off this 120 support level, instead it breaks through that support level, and instead we're talking about going all the way back to the 80s. That was when the dollar hit its absolute peak, or the dollar index hit its absolute peak of 164. Now, I'm not imagining something like this will happen, because in order for this to have happened, the Fed actually had to raise rates all the way up to, I think it was around 20%. It was pretty insane to have to get this kind of spike. I don't think that's possible for this. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're probably going to come back up here and retest this line, and we're going to get rejected. And then the dollar index is going to make what you could consider here to be a triple top. You have one peak, you have two peaks, and that would be 3 peaks get rejected, and then Bitcoin will prosper as a result. We should see Bitcoin have some bullish price action after that point. But again, it's not going to happen for at least another quarter. I'm thinking 3 or 4 months, and it could be slightly longer than that. I will try to keep you guys up to date. I'll be watching this chart and seeing where the dollar index winds up. All right, so let's go straight to Bitcoin then. Let me zoom in a little bit here, zoom in a little bit more, go to the hourly. Now with Bitcoin had a kind of a weird day today. It went up, all right, it pulled back, and now we're seeing kind of like a half-hearted bounce right now. We take a look at the RSI, we're at 53, which is really in the middle of the range. There is solid resistance on the RSI when we look at the hourly at about 61, so keep an eye on that. If it breaks through this RSI resistance, then we could definitely head higher from here. And now the price resistance point, however, is up here at 19,500 or so about $500 from here. Now, what I expect Bitcoin's going to probably wind up doing is it's going to come back and it's going to retest this support line. I'm still in the camp of testing the support Now we'll see if the support holds or not. If it doesn't hold, again, I will, as soon as I see it, I'll be sure to post this on Twitter and share my thoughts from that point. But I think we're going to come back and we're going to wind up still retesting this support level. We have the weekend coming up here, and something that I've always said is that the weekends are for selling. And I had a whole video about looking at this year, the weekends. Bitcoin has sold off into the weekends, and this weekend I don't expect to be any different. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. And Ethereum is kind of the same sort of story. We have resistance up here at 1355. All right. And then if we go take a look at the hourly resistance for RSI, we can go ahead and take a look at this. We're at, again, close to that 61 level, somewhere in that range. And very rarely does it move above 63. So we're actually getting really close to that level. And from the looks of it, Ethereum looks like it wants to go back and retest these lows at 1235. Now that'd be almost $1,000 down from where it is now. That would be a pretty big move for Ethereum, but we've seen moves like that in the past. Most likely, I think what's going to happen is it's going to come back down. It's going to pull back down to the 1200s, 1275, 1262 or so. And then when it goes down to those levels, then I'll reevaluate the charts and see. But there's a strong argument to be made that it will continue and test this support line at 1235 and break through this support line. Though, like I said before, Ethereum has held up much better than Bitcoin has over the past couple of months. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and also take a look at the Bitcoin Reserve Exchange. So this is something I like to pay attention to every now and then. The Bitcoin Reserve Exchange is basically the number of coins held in the exchange. Now, with the Reserve Exchange, oftentimes what we've seen is just this constant downwards move. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. But we've seen that from here, since January, it's been on a steep decline, meaning that all these coins are being bought up. There are less coins on the index. And if we zoom in here even further, we can see that we have, instead of moving down, now we have a trend kind of reversal, and now we're moving back up again. And this started the 15th of September, and now we've had a little bit of a run up. And the reason for that is as far as I can understand, the reason for that is that miners are still selling at a rapid clip. We have here the miner reserve, okay, which is the number of coins held in miners' wallets, and that has been decreasing rapidly, okay, and especially if we zoom in here and take a look at September, we can see that it has been decreasing rapidly. And so what's happening is the miners are selling all their coins that they're mining are going right into the exchange, and so that's why we've seen this rise up in the latest exchange reserves. All right. I'd like for the miners not to be selling, but they have bills to pay, and I understand that that's the case. But just know that they are decreasing the Bitcoin price, and they're holding the Bitcoin price down, and they will continue to do so until the price goes up again, like we've seen here with like in July, for instance, when the price actually moved back up again. You can see that the number of coins held in the wallets actually moved up as well, and there wasn't a lot of selling pressure here from I'd say from 25th of July all the way up until the 5th of August. Then they decided to start selling again, and that also decreased the Bitcoin price too. If you layer that over the Bitcoin price, you can see that they move almost in perfect sync with each other, and it's been like that for some time now. So all right, so that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this content, please let me know. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd appreciate that. And I will catch you on the next video.